Design concepts. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Big, huge, massive, ginormous disclaimer. I am not a graphic designer. I'm not a designer. I'm not. Okay? If you are an artist, this is probably going to be too basic for you. And it should be. This portion of the course is focused on the people that have no freaking clue on how to organize things. How to make it look cute or pretty or visually appealing. So if you know what you're doing already, watch this module in 2 times if possible, and stop if you have any questions. Now, for the rest of you that have no idea of what you're doing, the next tips I'm gonna give you are really important to make your PowerPoint slides look neat. Again, my goal is not to turn you into a graphic designer or an artist, though it'd be kind of fun if you get into that because of this video. And we're gonna talk about 5 concepts. 1. Contrast and white space. 2. Round borders. 3. Subtle shadows. 4. Canva plus flat icon. And 5. Low quality pictures. 1. Contrast and white space. Think that sometimes colors can compete for your attention, but sometimes they match and they don't compete for your attention. On the screen you're gonna see what we call a color wheel. Don't be overwhelmed, I promise, it's okay. There are many ways to create color schemes, and I'm gonna show you a couple of different ones in a second. But sometimes going for colors from opposite ends, and I don't mean like all the way here, all the way there, right? Sometimes in the middle, like 180 degree. That can kind of be good, okay? That is not a rule. So what I would do if I were you, you can even do some research on the color wheel later, but I would go to either this website or this website. There is also a PDF document here for you to download with those links. And you can choose the colors that you want, and they will give you a color scheme that looks nice. They'll give you actually many. So Canva and Adobe give you amazing resources. The second portion of this first topic is the white space. So white space, negative space, it's sort of making sure that you have room in the background. It's not all crowded, and it's not all... Sometimes, actually, and this is one of the other reasons why I say less is more. Sometimes having less stuff on the screen actually adds on to the whole design, to the whole look. So don't feel like you have to use big images or big icons or big words always. Sometimes having them smaller, or at least a little bit smaller, actually adds on to the story. 2. Round borders. Now this is a personal preference, but when I have an image that's a square, like this, it's good because I don't need sound effects. I do them on my own. I actually go on PowerPoint and I take the image and I round the borders like this. Alright, so now I'm gonna teach you how to actually go from a rectangle picture or icon to something that has round borders. Okay, it could be a circle, a full-on circle. It could be a rectangle that has round borders. It could be a square. So let me show you that, and this is what I mean. Look at this. This is an image from our metacognition course. This is Anna, and you can see it's a rectangle. All right, now one of the things that you could do is this. You see how it has the round borders? Or you could also do this and you have a circle. Okay, and perhaps you're gonna want to do this when you're presenting online and people can't see your face, or whatever image you want to use. Okay, so this is how you do it. Let me take this. Let's delete all this stuff so we can do it together. Okay, you're gonna copy this image just so you don't have any problems later. Here's what you're gonna do. Up here in the tabs, you're gonna come to Format. Now we're gonna make the rectangle first, okay? So you're gonna click on the image, under Crop, and you're gonna go Crop to Shape. Now here, you have tons of options, okay? You can play around with it later. But this is the rounded rectangle. Now, if you wanna make it even more rounded, you could do this, you see? Now let's leave it like this for now. The other option is to make squares or circles, okay? So let's take this, same thing, copy the image, Format. Now under Crop, you're gonna go Aspect Ratio 1:1. Then you're gonna frame the image as you wish. Click outside. Let's say we're gonna do this. Go back to Format. Now again, you could go for
crop to shape again, and you could do the rectangle. It works the same way. Or I just pressed Command Z or Control Z depending on where you are, okay? Or you could also go crop to shape, this oval shape here, but it's really a circle. And this is what I mean. When you press oval, you have to keep the shift key pressed down so you can create the habit of using it, and you're not going to lose the circle aspect, the circle ratio, because sometimes you're going to run into some issues and the image is going to look a little bit funky. You see it's going to go to oval shape. Alright, so this is how you get either circles or squares with round borders or rectangles with round borders.
This often gives me, at least, a feeling that it looks nicer, it looks better. Because since the PowerPoint is already a square, right, it's not a square, a rectangle, sometimes adding those shapes that are kind of, it looks neat, it looks nice. So it's just another thing that you learned right now. Number 3, subtle shadows. This is usually what I do after. I go on PowerPoint, I take that same image and I add a little shadow, a subtle shadow to it. Because that makes the image pop off the screen. When the person looks, it's like, wow. While everyone else is just having flat, squared images, you're having this rounded, popping off the screen image, and people are like, oh, cool.
Sometimes adding subtle shadows or effects or reflections to your images can make them really pop. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take the 2 images we made a few minutes ago. Now, look at the top one. If you add a subtle shadow behind it, you see kind of how it pops off the screen over here? And now for this one, you could add a reflection, and it looks like this. Okay? This is how you do it. Let's get to it. Let's delete those 2. Now, copy it. And you don't have to copy on your own project, by the way. I'm just doing it so you can see the difference. Click on the image, format, and then you go to Picture Effects, Shadow, and then I like to use this outer one, bottom right, but you can choose different ones. Okay, let's choose this one. Alright, let me show you a different one just so you can see kind of how it changes. Now let's bring it back, just because I don't like this one that much. Alright, now, rectangle. This is how you add reflections. Let's close this. You click on the image, Picture Effects, Reflection, and then you could go here. Okay? Now, I just showed you the hardest way, I would say. Because you can also do, click on the image, format, and then here you have some presets. You see? But sometimes they look weird. Sometimes they don't look that good. But all of those can be done over here, but not all the ones that are over here can be done over here. Okay? So that depends on how much time you have, how much care you want to take of your presentation, but you can go from there. Okay?
And this leads me to number 4, Canva plus Flat Icon. Those are 2 websites. Canva is basically an easy way to create all sorts of things. If you have never seen that website, go check it out. On Canva, you're going to be able to find tons of presentation templates. Now, sometimes they're not as good because they come in an image, like a fixed image, and you can't take certain things out, or let's say you have a person here and another thing here, or you can't add animations and stuff. But you could still totally use the templates if you feel like it's going to be a good idea. And then, the second website is Flat Icon. Flat Icon has a ton of icons that you can download and bring to your presentations. This is perhaps what makes my presentations look fairly different. I'm a visual person, so I like icons, and then I work with them. Let's say I'm talking about John. Yeah, that same John with the apple that he bought the apple. Yeah. I'm not gonna write, or I'm not just gonna say. I'm gonna put an image of an icon of a guy that I'm gonna call John, and I'm probably gonna put an apple too. People like that sort of thing. So on this website, you can search for the icon, and then you can download it and put it in your presentation. But don't forget, make sure to, in your presentation, give credit. Give credit to people. Come on. If you're getting something for free that someone designed or created for you or whatever, give them credit. And you can probably give the credit in the references page or mention at the end or some version of that. Finally, number 5, Never use low quality pictures. I don't care what you do. Don't use low quality pictures. I swear. I swear. When you put a low quality picture in your presentation, it shows people that you didn't actually go trying to search for a better picture. Now, okay, if we're talking about an older picture that's supposed to be old and pixelated or whatever, sure, but most of it, yeah, you can probably find something better. So don't use low quality pictures. They make you look like you didn't care enough to find a better one. They make your presentation not look nice. Now, depending on what you're doing, you're gonna wanna use some stock photos. I've only used stock photos in presentations a couple of times, but here are a couple of websites you can go to find those stock photos. And yeah, they are also embedded in the PDF that you can download here. There you go. So those are the 5 concepts that if you can stick by them or if you can adapt them and use and keep them in mind, your presentations are gonna look a lot nicer. It's like food. If it looks nice and it smells nice, it's probably going to taste nice. It's a weird comparison to your presentation. If it looks nice, people are going to expect it to be nice too. They're going to be more excited about it right off the bat. So there you go, a few of the design concepts that you can use.